Hello. How is everybody tonight? I'm just going to give it a minute for people to pop on. Um, Mikey's working on sharing the link. Business. Okay. So let me know when you get here. Um, like I said, Mikey's trying to share my link. So, hello, Nicole. Oh, there you go. Okay. I was like, why didn't your comment pop up in StreamYard? Um, I'm trying to give it a minute for a couple people to pop on. We are going to. I'm not muted, am I? Okay. We are going to do something new that is still pretty new in the Tumbler world. And then I'm going to show you one of my favorite styles of glitter when it comes to glittering a tumbler. So you're kind of getting a two for tonight because the one um, I'd have to go outside and seal it and then epoxy it, and then there we could move on. Oh, okay. He just texted the link. Um, and then the other one does take a little bit longer with the glittering because it's one of my favorite glittering processes. So make sure you say hello when you get here. I saw we had some people and then they all disappeared. Oh well. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button below if you don't already. It is free, so why not? Oh gosh, I don't know people's names. Hello, Debbie T. Hello, um, Lamac and Shadows and D. Oh, Laura. Okay. So one thing with YouTube is you get to pick any name you want. So I know that I already said it to Nicole, but um, we're gonna do two different styles tonight. The first one we're gonna do a brand new style that's still new in the Tumbler world, and I already pre-glittered the tumbler for that. And then the second one we are gonna glitter a tumbler from scratch, and one of my favorite methods of glittering because I think that they turn out beautiful. And I'll show you an example of what one looks like after it's all done. So yes, Kim, we are live. Hello, Delina. Hello, Debbie. Hello, Sharon. Excuse me, I just had some Diet Pepsi. Hello, Carol. Oh, okay, Nanette. That's who Shadows is. Just sorry, picking some dried epoxy off my silicone mats. The glitter colors that I am going to use tonight, and I'll go over this again. Three of these are from a company called Glitter Chimp. I've never used their glitters before. I got them at Create with 614 up in Columbus area. And then I had to throw a chunky in there for the style that we're doing. And that one's some Glitter Guy, and they're all in the teal family. So I think it's going to be beautiful, especially because the seafoam is so much lighter that you're really going to see a difference in that. So, hello, Holly. Hello, Debbie. Hello, Sharon. So I guess let's get started because I think I want to start with the alcohol ink one because if I can run outside real quick and seal it, then we can maybe epoxy it tonight after we glitter the other tumbler. Um, I brought Mikey's chair over here to sit down, but this table's too tall for that, so I'm standing up. Let me just adjust you a little bit. I gotta take this keyboard off of here, sorry. Hello, Wendy. Mikey's not going to be doing the live tonight. He's going to rest tonight. All right, so here is the pre-glitter tumbler. I'll show it over here too. It actually does have a rainbow glitter to it. It's hard to see on the camera. It looks just like a white glitter, but it is a glitter called Rainbow Ice from the Glitter Guy. This is one of their old labels. You can kind of see the different colors there when the light hits the bottom of the jar. It's an awesome white glitter to use as a base coat. So that's what I did. And then what we're going to do, I need to get another silicone mat out. Hold on. Just because. And yes, that's dried epoxy from forever ago on there. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna take some alcohol inks, and we're just gonna put the alcohol inks around the top and around the bottom, and we're gonna see what it does when it hits the glitter. Um, I'm going to do blue and purple, so I'm using Amethyst by Marabou and Caribbean by Marabou. Oh, he's not sick or anything. He's just relaxing tonight. He worked all day. Excuse me, working on cutting Christmas and July kits. So he's just relaxing now. He just went inside. He's gonna lay down with the girls and just hang out. So as far as the colors, I'm thinking blue around the top and probably purple around the bottom because the blue is lighter. What do y'all think about that? Thank you, Betty. Hello, Karen. Is this one open? No. Let me grab my thing to open that. I'm still here. So I'm thinking blue around the top and the purple around the bottom. There's a fly in here, and it just will not leave me alone. And then we're going to leave the white in the middle because I have a design coming from Banff Custom Creations. That we met them at the convention. They're one of the people that we got. So I really wanted to do this one, but I just don't think this is the tumbler for this one. But I have one coming that's 2 dog paws, and it says like "Be the human that your dog thinks you are," and it has blue and purple in it, so that's why I want to match with the blue and purple alcohol inks. So we're just going to get started over here. I will tilt it so you guys can kind of see what happens because I haven't done this before. So y'all see how it kind of just spread underneath the glitter and did its own thing. And then some people with this method have been doing like cowhide cups by using browns and blacks, and the fly is right on my chest. And alcohol inks dry really quickly. So to glitter this tumbler, I did use the epoxy method for glitter, which is doing an extremely thin layer, and you'll see it when we do the next one in a few minutes. An extremely thin layer of epoxy on the tumbler, and then you sprinkle the glitter on it, and then you just let it cure naturally. And then what I do afterwards is I brush off any excess loose glitter before I do anything else, and then I would seal it. But today I didn't seal it because we needed it open for this process. If it needs to be a little darker, you can go back over it. And obviously by having the tilt, this fly, y'all, like, I wish I had my fly swatter right now because it's here. I don't know if I said hello, Jane, but hello, Jane. And you're going to kind of just go until you think you like the pattern that happened. And I'm pretty sure with different thickness glitters, then it would change how the ink spreads in general. But I don't want it to be a perfect line. I kind of like the dips, but I'm just trying to determine how thick I want it to be. And honestly, if you think about it, you could, if I kept going with this whole tumbler with this and like left a spot in the center open that was just white, it would probably have like a bleached effect to it, which would be really cool. So I think I'm going to stop there with the blue. And we're going to move on to the purple at the bottom. Hello, Laura. Hello, Heidi. Hello, Louise. And then this, like I said, this is Amethyst by the Marabou inks. And we're going to do the same thing. It's a darker color, which is one reason why I wanted to do it on the bottom. And I'm gonna actually do the bottom as well because I did glitter down here. And then we're gonna go down the side. I thought about trying this method with the airbrush, but I just don't know how well it'll work because the airbrush is more controlled. I was like, I know I'm not out yet. Oh, there must have been a clog because it all just came pouring out. All right, let's do a little bit thicker. In certain spots. All right, so I'm kind of liking that. And then when we get a design, we'll put it in the middle. I might, let's see. I kind of want to make it a little more. Probably need to add a little blue to the top. I think there's something clogged here. Hello, Summer. Hello, Sherry. Or sorry, Jerry and Lisa and Tanya. Oops. I don't know. I don't know. I kind of like that. What do y'all think? Do you think that I should maybe just kind of leave an open section and combine the purple and the blue? Let me know. I definitely like this process. I think it's a cool effect. Sorry, I'm just waiting to see if anybody pipes in on that. Grab a sip of my drink. Hello, Espinoza. Hello, Jennifer. All right. All right. So we'll combine it. What the heck, right? That's kind of the fun in this, is you can kind of just play around. So I think we'll leave. I can't see the design I ordered being much bigger than that, so we'll go with that. One thing that I really like about this is that you can still see the shine of the glitter through the alcohol inks. Whoops. Laura, it's going to be, hello, Cheryl. It's going to be sorry, excuse me. It's going to be a decal that has two dog prints that are also blue and purple. And it's going to say, be the human that your dogs think you are. I won't have that decal in probably till late next week, but I can have this ready for the decal. Yeah, I like that because it has like a bleached look to it. I'm going to try one more thing, but I may completely ruin it by trying it, but we're still going to. So, in this bottle, I have rubbing alcohol, and the rubbing alcohol will reactivate the alcohol inks if it penetrates through the glitter. And if you do it right, which I don't think it's going to activate them enough, unfortunately. Well, you can kind of see it. We're going to leave this as is. I'm not a huge fan of that center line right there. I probably should have like messed with the inks to make them a little more scraggly, but the front I do like. And under epoxy, things can look so much different, so it'll probably end up being okay once we get it epoxied. So I'm gonna just set this on the turner over here. You can't really see it, but it's right there. And we're just gonna leave that be for now. We're gonna start the next process. Hello, Barbara. All right, so this is a black. I've already prepped and painted this black. Um, and then this is the handy turner that I got from Dino's Tumbler Turner LLC. They sent me this. This is one that I can spin myself, so I can kind of control what I'm doing. So I'm going to mix up some epoxy. We're going to get a nice thin layer on here, and then we're going to start the glitter process. I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use the medium viscosity tonight. You think so, Lisa? Lisa? Sorry. Like, you think yellow to the middle of it? Here, let me turn this. Like, you think yellow right there could blend it together? I don't know. We might come back to that. I am going to use the medium viscosity tonight because it has a longer work time. So let me get a tiny bit of that mixed up real quick. And this is also a 2-part epoxy resin. I should put my mask on, but I'm not going to right now because I'm using so little of it. So part B is my thinner part. So I like it's super thin and comes out really quick. So I like to squirt that one first. Part A is a thicker part, so I can control it just a little bit more. Because you want your parts to be as equal as possible. Oh, thanks, Summer. Hello, Louise. Or sorry. I think you can say share. Hello, Tiffany. That's who I meant to say hello to. It's just Louise's comment popped up after I looked at your name. So this part, like, I'm real meticulous about. Like, I get down level with it to see where my stuff falls, and it looks pretty even right now. So we're gonna go with it. See, the 5 foot bottles, the part B, I have to point it up because the part B is so thin that if I have it down, it'll actually drip out of the nozzle. So for the medium viscosity, I have both of them face up, but my fast set, I have them face down because they're thicker. And by the way, I think you can say share on YouTube. I don't think that it's a problem. And then I'm gonna pour my part B into my part A because it's thinner, so it's gonna be easier for me to get all of it out of this other cup. And I only did like 5 millimeters of each. And I'm not even gonna use all of that for this coat. I am gonna put some computer paper underneath because when you glitter, at least for the first couple, I will be able to save the glitter that falls onto the paper, but at some point it's all going to start mixing together. And if you can see this, let me try to pull you down just a little bit more. I'm trying not to lift the thing, and I'm trying not to do huge swirls because I don't want a lot of bubbles in there. And for the base coat, that's not a huge issue, but it's just habit for the top coat because the bubbles will show up in the epoxy if you don't pop them. So you want to minimize the amount that you get into it from the get-go. With such a small amount of epoxy, you're going to get bubbles regardless, but and I'm just going to mix it until it's clear. This resin has about 30 to 45-minute work time once it's mixed, so we are fine. We'll have plenty of time to glitter this tumbler without having to worry, which is the reason I didn't use, I guess I can turn the computer a little bit, huh? Oh no. Which is the reason that I didn't use the fast set, because the fast set you only get like a 10-minute work time, and that's just not enough for what we're going to do. Now, also with the fast set, sometimes you have what's called a flash cure happen. So if you mix too much fast set in too small of a container, it'll get really hot, it'll start smoking, and it will cure within minutes. Um, it's melted cups. I've only had a flash cure happen once or twice on me, but it didn't melt any cups. I was fine, and I was there when it happened. But the fast set will cure or dry to the touch in 2 hours, where this takes about 8 hours for it to dry to the touch. And it usually starts for about 2 or 3 minutes. It's really until it runs clear, but there is a lot of bubbles in this right now. But like I said, for what we're doing, the bubbles are okay. It's not going to affect our goal. And then while the epoxy is still wet on the stir stick, I do grab a net of tissue, and I have a little bottle of rubbing alcohol that has a pumper on top. And you can just wipe off the stir stick and the epoxy will come right off. You can let it dry on this. It is a silicone stir stick, but I prefer to wipe it off immediately because I hate trying to peel it off, to be honest. Hello, Lynn. All right, let me readjust my camera, get our tumbler back in the view. And I'm going to start putting the epoxy on the tumbler. So I got my glove on. They did a little bit, Louise. They didn't do it as much as I thought that they would. And I'm really just, I'm going to make this as thin as I can. Can't forget the bottom. Raquel, the only customs that I will be doing for tumblers is going to be like once these are made, I will allow people to put a name or a quote on them. To be honest, custom orders can be extremely stressful, and they can take the fun out of the tumblers because with Facebook and like big box companies, and they put all these designs out that are so unrealistic that it's just kind of, that's where the fun gets sucked out of it, because people send pictures and they're like, I want this exact tumbler, but it's not feasible. um, for sublimation it can be feasible because most of the time that's what somebody's looking at, but they're expecting an epoxy tumbler that looks exactly like this picture that they found on Facebook. Yeah, the manual turner came in a couple days ago. Um, we I won't do any copyright. So I know that some of you guys have seen some of my past work and like the Jack Daniels and things like that. I won't do any copyright stuff because I don't want to get in trouble and get sent a cease and desist letter. So I am going to stay away from that. There are some Tumblr creators that will do them, and that's fine. That's just something that I will not. I don't want to jeopardize our business um, for that. You can epoxy over sublimation, yes. So one thing that I will do sometimes, and I'll show you guys, is when I have leftover epoxy here, I will um, usually pour it into a mold. So in this case, I'll start a mermaid tail. So what color do I want to put for the tail? For the main part of it. I like to do random ones. I don't always follow the norms. Some of them actually, I figure I know what I'm going to do because it's one of my favorite glitter lines. It's the irregular cuts by the glitter guy. So like these aren't traditional. Um, they're not like little circles of glitter. They're like just jagged shapes and everything else. Holly, it's wonderful, especially for this kind of process. And it is from Dino's Tumblers Turner, at least LLC. I can invite you to their page later if you want. They're great people. We met them at the expo. So I am going to put a little bit of this in here. And I'm going to give it another little mix. Sometimes I'll even throw mica powders in to my tails to give it a little bit of that extra coloring. But I don't want to on this glitter because I want to see what this glitter looks like under the epoxy. And then we'll just pour it in the mold. So this is not going to be enough to fill up the mold, but that's perfectly fine. Because for my mermaid tails, if you've seen them before, I always do the body of the tail a different color than the actual fin. I like to try to make them a little unique. And I don't think I have any two mermaid tails that are the same. I need to get them relisted on the website, to be honest, because I have a bunch ready. Oh, y'all can't. Oh, you can see a little bit of what I'm doing. So I did put it in here. It is going to level out some, and this is going to kind of go into the tail a little bit, and that's fine. Um, and then when I do another tumbler, I'll do a different color for the fin, and that's going to fill in the fin, and then put a little bit layer over the back of the top of it. But I like to make sure that I utilize all of my epoxy that I use. And sometimes what I'll even do is I will take something and I will put it under the edge of the fin just so that color doesn't distribute too much out. Do you, Summer? Holly, oh man. I don't know if you checked out the Glitter Guys website before noon today, but they had all their micas. If you bought 6 or more, 20% off. And so I have I think 8 or 9 micas coming. And I only paid $4 and change for them. And they're this size bottle, 28 grams. But their normal price for their micas is really good. It's $5.75 for that big bottle normally. All right. So now let's get back to our tumbler. So I am going to angle this like this because I usually kind of go up in a swirling motion. And here's the tumbler. Here's the example of what we're going to do. It's kind of like this. But in today's case, I picked all colors of the same family. Oh, awesome. So let's start with some sea foam. I haven't even opened these yet, so I bet they all have the protective foam on them. Let me get that taken care of. Oh, Summer. Well, Summer or Holly, if you've never ordered from them, I do have a referral link that will give you 5% off your first order. All right. So we're going to start with the sea foam by the Glitter Chimp. And then what I normally do is I need a piece of paper underneath it. So for the first couple, I'll be able to catch the glitter and put it back in my bottles. But after that, it kind of mixes, and I'm kind of SOL on that point. So with this one, it's just kind of neat because you kind of just do what you want. The seafoam, this looks really pretty because on the black, it's changing colors a little bit. So this is probably an iridescent glitter. Let's get some here. Let's see. So all this is rainbow quartz glitter, but it looks like it is. Oh, that's very true, Holly. So the stainless steel tumblers, you should avoid putting in the dishwasher because the heat can break the seal. But I will also tell you that there's plenty of people online that have said they put it in their dishwasher, no problem. So it's really going to be up to you on if that's something that you want to do. Let's go with Breezy next. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on this glitter because this will be really good for like a winter tumbler. I'm really liking this breezy. And you kind of just overlap them a little bit because they're going to blend together, which is fine. That's what you want. And like I said, this style, you can pick 4, 5, 6 different colors, however many you want. And it's just, you just kind of go with your gut and what do you think looks good. Now we're going to go with Ocean, which is a darker teal color. This one I'm going to try to do a continuous line to the end of the tumbler. Y'all know how I am with my teals. I love when you find a good teal. You know, I'm kind of feeling like I might need to put some black glitter in here because I'm liking these colors on the black. Right, Wayner. Oh, Holly, I think we just had the same thought process there. I didn't even see your comment. Um, what was I going to respond to? Wayna, yes. So, the epoxy that I use is is safe up to 500 degrees, so you could leave it in the car, etc. You know, this is a chunky glitter, and I was going to use it, but I really don't think I want to do a chunky on here. Because sometimes chunkies get on my nerves. But let me find the black real quick. Okay, I think I got the one we're going to use. Because it was kind of between... It was kind of between Gertrude here, but Gertrude kind of has a gold in her. Or Twilight, which is, you can see that rainbow or the rainbow color sparkling in there. And I think Twilight's going to win, to be honest. Thank you, Jerry. The wall of glitter is right here somewhere. And I do have them color organized for the most part. So I went to my grays and blacks. But I think Twilight's going to win. As much as I would like to try Gertrude, she does have gold in her. So I just don't know. I don't think I'm going to like the gold on there. So we're going to fill this little portion in with black. So here's the part that it's going to start. I'm not going to worry about the glitter that falls onto the paper. Because I think, no, this little middle spot, I'm thinking I'm going to do this one. The black, I'm trying to do a thinner line, so I'm trying to be a little more controlled with it. And then we're going to go back and put some more of these teals in there. And I'll show you what I do with, because once I get to the point that I stop saving the color on the paper, what I actually end up doing is I put it in a cup together, and then that's what goes in the bottom of the tumbler. So it's kind of a mix of all of it. All right, let's go for, y'all, I really like this breezy color. Let's get a little more breezy. Let's do, I'm trying to find a good spot for her. I think we need to do more seafoam first. Sorry, that was a message from the girl that's hosting the night market tomorrow night. Because today we were talking about electricity and if they're gonna have it. Because I was like, I'm gonna bring a fan because it's gonna be hot, and we do get to use electricity. All right, let's go back in with some breezy. I feel like I'm gonna have to do. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Ooh, that was a lot of breezy over there. See if we can get a little bit of this mixed in there. All right, now let's bring you more here. Bring the breezy back over here. There is a little line of black, so we're going to get the breezy in this in between. And then some twilight. Hello, Michelle. I'm just trying to make sure I didn't miss a spot. So here's kind of what we got. And the black is black on purpose. And then what I'm going to do is grab a cup. Thanks, Cindy. I'm going to add a little bit of this dark teal back into this because there wasn't much. Oh, well, I did a little more than planned because I opened the wrong side of the bottle. And throw a little black in here too. And then what we're going to do is we're going to tilt this up. Yes, Kim, we're live. So we are going to, let me fold this paper. Because what I normally do is Oop, put a fold in it so that way. But it doesn't help if the paper keeps falling. Sorry, I know you can't really see this very well. I gotta give it a little spin. Oh no. I just heard my fingers touch the cup. Did I cause any damage? It doesn't appear so. So, now what I gotta do is, it's gonna go on the turner over here. And even though it's a thin layer and it shouldn't drip, I'm still gonna let it spin for the 8 hours for the epoxy underneath to dry. I'm sorry, I was thirsty. I'm still debating. I'm trying to think what can I do to this to kind of make this line look better. Do you think maybe I should like bring some of the purple up a little bit? I think I do like that a little bit better. Kind of like it's encroaching into it. Kim, I saw you earlier. That way we don't have that just plain solid looking line. What do y'all think about that? Do you think that looks better? I'll pull it over here. I think that looks better than that solid line. I swear I saw you, Kim. I thought I saw you ask Are we live earlier. Let me see. Was I thinking that? Yeah, Kim at 9:36. You sure did. And then if you can see it, you can't really see it. The mermaid tail. I'm gonna pop you off here. The mermaid tail. So you see how it kind of went into the fin, but that's about where it's gonna stop. So that way, when I do the next color over top of it, you'll still see that coloring going down into the fin, and it looks more natural, in my opinion. Because like the fins aren't a sharp cutoff and then a new color; they have that little bit that goes down. So, and then I will save this glitter. I won't throw this away because sometimes these custom mixes are a lot of fun, or some people call them dump cups. I usually do my dump cups kind of color based and just let like different shades of the same color family just keep mixing together, and then eventually you kind of have a custom glitter mix. So but these lines aren't taking super long, which is fine. um, but what I'll do is I'll end up sealing both of these probably tomorrow, and then I'll epoxy them. Um, and then when I get the decal in for this one, we'll go live and do this one plus something else. Because that I like to kind of have multiple steps in the process for us, so that way, like this would have been super quick if this is all I did tonight, which is why I had this other tumbler over here, like ready to do something too. Here is the tumbler that we did the other day. I'm probably going to put one more coat on it because I did get some fish eyes on it when I epoxied it. But this is it all shiny and shined up. And you can still see the sparkle. It's just really hard to catch it through the camera, but you can see a little bit of it popping up on there. Michelle, I'd say on average it happens to be about 3. Um, it'd be 2 at the minimum. I would never just do 1, because I just feel like that's not weed protection enough. But it all depends. Like this one probably already has 2 on it, but this is one reason I like chunky glitters. It's still rough, so I'd have to sand it down more and then epoxy it again. And then if it's still rough, I got to sand it and epoxy it again, and it can start getting heavy. So that's kind of a reason why I try to avoid chunky glitters if I can. But I really do like. All right, I'm going to show you guys some of the glitters on the wall. Okay. But like that's one reason why I really do like these irregular cut glitters. And I know that it's super hard to see in the camera, but they're not traditionally cut. They're like shattered looking. Um, so like there's these ones are like, I guess they call them like the Greek collection. Like there's Dionysius, Artemis, Pomegranate, Harmonia, Persephone. Those are all part of that shattered family. Daphne is really pretty. She's also shattered. I love the shattered ones. The original shattered one that I had was called Camp Crystal Lake from them, which I do have. It's just over there. But I have all of their pastel color line, so I do plan on doing a pastel color. Like here's Rock Candy, which is their blue. Patty Cakes is supposed to be purple, but it definitely has a pinkish hue to it. But next to the actual pink, it does look purple. And there's Moki. And then I have Limeade for the green. And Vanilla Wafer for the yellow. But they do have another green, which I just got, which was called Disappointment. Because it was a mistake glitter that they had. Purple. Pink. And then some that I just got in today. So Lemon Zest is a really pretty yellow. That came in today. This one's called Red, READ. It's a holographic red glitter that came in today. Where else? What else did I get in today? I think Chloe came in today. No, Chloe's one of the shattered ones. She's pretty too. Oh, Microwave came in today. This is a nice holographic blue. I don't even remember, y'all. Oh, Orange, Sunburst. This one's beautiful. This orange. I don't know. I have a lot of glitters. And I can't wait for fall because then I start messing with like Halloween tumblers. So. But that's all I got for you guys tonight. It was a lot of fun hanging out with you and doing the tumblers. I'm glad that I'm starting to do them again. And once I figure out decals, so let me flip y'all around and show you up here real quick. Camera. How do I flip? Settings. Okay, so once I figure out decals for some of these, I'll do those on live too. Like the 2 ocean ones there. I still have a dragon scale one right there. That white one is actually a glow in the dark one that I started that I didn't do anything with. I have a blue wood grain or blue hydro, or not hydro, paint pour over there. We'll probably do a paint pour soon. So I have all these up here that I have to finish. Plus I have some down here that aren't finished. So once I start getting those um, ideas for those, we will do some of those live. So they would, Michelle. Um, Holly, it does get super humid up here, but our AC does a really good job in the building of drawing that humidity out. Hold on. Let me take this off. Oh, wait, I can't take it off. That's my microphone. Um, tumblers, Kim. So after I get them complete, they have to cure for 72 hours before I could ship them out. So I'd say a turnaround for tumblers anywhere from 1 week to 2 weeks minimum. Um, but when I really get going on quite a few projects, it ends up being like 3 or 4 weeks. So, anyways, I'm gonna hop off here. It was nice hanging out with you guys. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure that you do by hitting the subscribe button below. And we'll see you guys later. Bye.